Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Circuit Breaker PSC Ethereum Foundation Workshop, Managed Groups with Bandada. Joining us today is Giacomo Corrias, who will be taking us through this session. And with that, I'll pass it over to Giacomo to get the session started.
Thank you, Rory. Hello, everyone. I'm Giacomo, also known as XJ on the web. I'm an independent full-stack software engineer, currently focused on building developer tools, protocols, and infra for privacy-preserving technologies. I'm collaborating with PSC, and it's about 2 years now. And PSC is a research lab building public goods that expand the world of cryptography. And today I'm thrilled to introduce to you one of them, Bandada, a public good infrastructure to easily manage privacy-preserving groups of anonymous individuals. So here's the agenda for today. We will start by exploring the motivations, principles, and analogies to be ready to dive into the architecture and code. And we will wrap up everything by discussing the focus of the team, the roadmap, and how you can contribute to the project and get in touch with us. First of all, why Bandada? Managing anonymous groups that preserve privacy can be challenging due to complexity, configuration overhead, trade-offs between privacy and user convenience. So beyond these main problems, we see a problem as the lack of a modular and adaptable infrastructure that can allow anyone, even those with limited technical knowledge, to join or manage these kind of anonymous groups. So that's why we're building Bandada, to provide a concrete solution to this. So what is Bandada? Bandada is a plug-and-play public good infra that enables anyone to create and manage privacy-preserving groups of anonymous individuals. The goal is to make Bandada the de facto standard infra for both on-chain and off-chain group management. It is designed with developers in mind because we offer libraries and customizable modules, and also for non-developers too, because it has different clients, dashboards, front ends to make it friendly for non-technical people. Currently, the users can be added manually or programmatically to groups by the creators or the admins, or they can join autonomously by satisfying some eligibility criteria. All of these enable a wide range of applications, from grouping contributors of a particular GitHub repository or even holders of a specific NFT to admit people just because they have like an Ethereum attestation or certain on-chain history. So the use cases can vary a lot. About the terminology, bandada is a Spanish word that means flock. So you could imagine like a flock of birds in flight moving in perfect harmony. And each bird is an integral part of this collective movement while maintaining its own space and autonomy. That's basically the essence of Bandada that enables a similar harmony, but in the group management ecosystem, because people can interact much like birds in flight while maintaining their individual anonymity and autonomy while interacting. Behind Bandada, there are some key concepts that are worth exploring before going through the code. And those are like groups, anonymity versus pseudonymity, and credentials. In the context of privacy and zero knowledge, a group can be seen more than just a collection of individuals. It represents an anonymity set. This means that within the group, the actions, characteristics, or identities of the individual members become indistinguishable from one to another. And this provides a way for individuals to engage in collective actions like signaling, or share attributes without revealing specific information about themselves. And this is core, in this context is core the difference between anonymity and pseudonymity. The anonymity refers to the complete concealment of users' identity, while pseudonymity allows users to interact under a consistent but disguised identity. It's something like an alias. And as we know, our identities are fragmented into different silos in the web. And the concept of credentials in Bandada is just a way of establishing the necessary trust between a set of participants by verifying certain attributes or qualifications of individuals without making them in the need of sharing their full identity. But we just take some sparse information, we get advantage from that. As a core features, we have the intuitive group management with user-friendly dashboards for admins, APIs for developers, and so on. Also, there's a variety of off-chain groups based on the access mode. We have different access modes, like manual, invitation, and credential. We will see them later. And the legal-like approach of credentials providers, the possibility of taking advantages from external protocols for on-chain group management, like Semaphore, and grasp their features as a core principles of one of the core principles of Bandada. And this is reflected in also the modularity, anonymity, extensibility, and customizability principles. Before diving into the architecture, it is worth mentioning the difference between Bandada and Semaphore. And for your interest, there's a session after this one about Semaphore, where you can learn more. And Bandada and Semaphore are different by nature. So Semaphore is a protocol for on-chain anonymous signaling, while Bandada is an infrastructure for group management. And yes, Semaphore manages on-chain groups under the hood, and Bandada uses Semaphore libraries for this kind of thing right now. But the idea is that you can use Bandada for group management also off-chain, and you can have different custom access modes by default, while in Semaphore you cannot. And Semaphore offers one more cool feature, which is the anonymous signaling on-chain. So you can do something and nobody knows who did that, like signaling a feedback, a vote, and so on. But you will learn more in the next session. This is the architecture of Bandada. We have a robust backend system, which is composed by a database to store the off-chain data and groups, a versatile set of APIs to ensure easy external integration and communication across the Bandada components. For off-chain groups, the database makes Bandada a single point of failure, so you have to take care about distribution or decentralization of the data. We provide two users interfaces. The dashboard is used to create and manage groups, add remove members, and you can see in the dashboard the groups that you have joined or created. Then we have also a demo application, which is used to consuming invites to join groups. This is a demo because you can build on top of it to provide a unique experience for your end users to join the groups or just build it from scratch. Going down deep, we provide also a set of JavaScript libraries. We have the API SDK library, which is a wrapper of the API's methods in order to easy the integration for developers. Since the customization is one of the key principles, we have also providers and validators inside the credentials library. And this library can be used also as a standalone to provide severe resistance in your business logic. Then we have a bunch of our data scripts and utilities that are commonly shared across. Looking at the contracts, we have one for managing the groups on-chain. This contract is based on Semaphore, sorry. And since we are using Semaphore, we follow also its structure. So this is binary Merkle tree. And we have also an off-chain group management that can be where the proofs made off-chain can be verified on-chain on the bandada.sol smart contract. So basically, people can verify the proof without relying on the database. That's the idea. One thing that is worth mentioning is that Semaphore takes care of root history expiration for the Merkle trees, and we don't for the off-chain groups. So we are working on it to provide it as soon as possible, but right now you have to take care of it. So we support different access modes for off-chain groups. We have manual, and also on-chain groups are based on manual access. And In the manual, the admins can directly add or remove members, both programmatically or just typing the member ID. The on-chain groups support only manual access mode, as I said, and they are backed by Semaphore. Invitation, admins can generate unique invite links to be consumed by the target members. And also we have credential-based. So the admin can set some sort of criteria based on the credential providers. And for off-chain groups, you can set just Web2 providers. And for on-chain groups, you can set just Web3 providers. So right now we can have we have scratched the surface of Bandada, so we can start seeing the code. Bandada provides this monorepo. Here we are. So this is the monorepo of Bandada. And as you can see, we have the hubs and the libraries that we have already seen in the architecture. And one cool thing of Bandada is the easy of configuration in terms of the things that you have to do before starting with it. It's easy. You just need to configure the API environments, and then just you're ready to run everything locally. You can follow along the README for further explanations, and we provide also the running in Docker section to have more instructions that are more suitable for production environments. Delving into libraries, as we have seen, we have the API SDK, which is just a wrapper in TypeScript for the Bandada APIs. Super easy to use. It's just one line of code, and you have to just give the URL of your APIs. And you can get access to different methods like get groups, generate Merkle proof, add members, and so on. Then we have the credentials. So it's very important to note that the provider defines the data sources that can be used for validation. For example, I need a GitHub profile information, while validators are more focused on defining the criteria that must be satisfied with that credential provider. So for example, here we have this example, minimum followers 100. So this can be translated in, to access this Bandada group, I need a GitHub account that has at least 100 followers. That's the idea. As I said, this library can be customized as needs. You can add more criteria, more providers, more validators, and so on. Our debt is just some tasks to deploy these smart contracts that we have seen, super simple. And the common utilities are just shared to communicate with Bandada or can be used externally. And here you can have something like get provider, get contract, and some sort of utilities. Going through the apps, here we have the API, which is a classic REST API backend made with Nest.js. Then the contracts, we have seen two contracts. So Bandada Semaphore is the one that will hand the logic for on-chain groups, and Bandada.sol stores the Merkle tree roots to make anyone able to verify proofs also for off-chain groups. And it's just a classic library with some Hardhat and Ethers.js. And then we have two front ends, client and dashboard. The client is the demo app. I think it's more interesting to see them while working. So this is the dashboard. So the thing you have to do to work with the dashboard is just sign in with your wallet and connect one account. Oh, you cannot see the account, but it's just a classic MetaMask interaction and sign a message. After that, here's the dashboard. And here you will see after the creation, the groups that you have created or the groups that you have joined. Right now, we are working in Goerli network, but we are planning to migrate to Sephora. So let's create a new group. You can choose from off-chain or on-chain groups. We will do off-chain for the sake of the demo. So this is a new Bandada circuit breaker. Let's also copy and paste in the description. Here you can select the size of the group. Let's pick small. And the access mode, manual or credentials. We will see a demo for the credentials groups later. And so we will continue with manual. This is the group. There are some statistics. This is the group ID, which is unique. And this is the API keys that you can use to programmatically interact with the groups. And the danger zone just to remove the groups, so delete it when just inputting the group name. From there, you can add the members. You can paste some IDs here, suppose 1, 2, 3, and add them to the group. You can also remove the members, and you can also generate invite links. Let's try to do one. So you generate, you copy one, somebody else connects, but this is the demo client. Somebody else connects its MetaMask. This is the invite code. You click join group. They sign a message, and you have joined the group. So you can go back here, refresh, and you can see that there's now a new member on the group. So this is basically the dashboard. I now should fetch the group. Here we are. And another thing to say, I think, is that, yeah, the admins do not need to meet groups criteria when they are creating them, since they're just creating them. So if they want to join the group, they have to meet the criteria or to be added manually by themselves in that case. Okay, so let's get back to the presentation. And next are the boilerplates. We have 2 boilerplates. One is Bandada Semaphore, and another one is the SDK Quick Starter. So let's start with Bandada Semaphore Feedback app. So here you can create your unique identity, join a group, and provide your feedback anonymously using Bandada and Semaphore together. So Bandada here manages off-chain groups and use Semaphore libraries like identity, proof, to extract the feature of anonymous signaling in Semaphore in order to make just people that have joined the group, so group members, to cast their signal anonymously, and their signal is just anonymous feedback. We provide both manual and credential application, so it's configured with 1 manual group and 1 credential group. We will see the credential group, which is more interesting, and this is a GitHub provider credential group. So, and the criteria is that you need to have at least 1 follower. We can see the demo for easy. So this is a demo. So you must have a group already created on your Bandada deployed instance, or for example, the one in PSE. Then you create your Semaphore identity. You have a bunch of private information and 1 public information, which is the commitment. You will learn about it later. Then click next and ask for joining the group. So here you need to authorize the OAuth application for Bandada that needs to take your public profile information to check your number of followers. After the authorization, you join the credential group. This is your commitment. And you can check also if the commitment is present inside the dashboard. It should be, if everything is correct. And then you can send your anonymous feedback. So you enter your feedback, and that's it. Anyone can see it, but nobody can know who sent it. And that was the Bandada Semaphore feedback app. Then we have also the SDK demo. This is super simple. It is just a script. You have to pass in the group ID, group API key, and an invite code, which must be valid. And you instantiate the API SDK as we have seen before, and it does a bunch of stuff with the group. I have prepared this small video. So basically, it asks for the group data, then adds 1 member, and another member and lots of members. Then create a proof of membership, so inclusion proof for the member one, and it verifies it, and that's correct, and then removes everyone. It's just super simple, just to showcase how to interact with Bandada, and that's a great starting point. Okay. We can wrap up everything with the roadmap. So the vision is to make Bandada the de facto standard for on-chain and off-chain group management. The V1 beta is out, and we are currently battle testing it with some integrations like Potion to provide CB resistance for trusted setup ceremonies. We want to extend the credentials with on-chain providers like Ethereum Attestation Service, signing with Ethereum. And we are also working on documentation, and we will release the website soon. Another must-have is the addition of the logical operators. And this can make people able to combine different credential providers and criteria together to access one group. So basically, you can do something like, hey, you can access this group if you have a GitHub account of X months old, have Y followers, and have contributed 8 times to organization 1. This is very cool. And last but not least, we want to go beyond Semaphore. So we want to avoid using directly Semaphore libraries and start using like something like ZK-Kit and open support to other on-chain group protocols. And you can check the roadmap by scanning this QR code. It's publicly available on GitHub, and you can comment, you can skim through, check everything. There's lots of stuff here going around, so feel free to add any question or comments. As resources, we provide this Notion page. This is our current doc, and you can check it. That's basically what I've said today during the presentation. And also there's this try it out section, which is very important for you, that since you're starting with Bandada, there's a couple of steps to start with. And yeah, so if you like to reach us for asking questions or discussing things more in depth, you can either join PC Discord for improvement, bugs, open an issue on GitHub. There are a couple of good first issues to tackle too. If you want to reach me or the team, you can find us on Discord or X. I'm 0xJ almost everywhere. And I think that's everything from my side. So thank you, everyone. And I think we have some space for some questions.
Yeah, thanks for that, Giacomo. Do we have any questions? Folks, feel free to type your questions in the chat, or if you want to take yourself off mute, you can ask them directly. And if there are no questions, and of course, as we have here on the screen, the 2 QR codes for reaching out to the team. And also don't forget you can reach out to them in our Discord channels, in the PSC partner channel that's associated with the circuit breaker. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure that you connect your Hacker dashboard to Discord in order to access those channels. But yeah, I don't think there are any questions. So thanks again for the great presentation, Giacomo, and thank you all, everybody else, for attending. Just a quick housekeeping reminders. Kickoff is later today in about a little over 2 hours, and then that's when hacking officially begins. And we do have a few more other workshops later today, so we look forward to seeing you all at those. So,
thank you, Rory, and happy hacking, everyone.
cheers. Thanks. Happy hacking,
Bye-bye.
everybody.